Flamingo chef, show us what you got with cocktails and dishes that hit the sweet spot.
Hey guys, thanks for joining me, Bill the Kansas Flamingo Chef, and today I am going to make lasagna. What you are looking at is a whole pan of lasagna that I cooked from start to finish in less than 2 hours, and it cost me just over $23. I know that sounds crazy, and that's a lot of food, and I'm going to show you how to do it. So I've totaled up all my ingredients. We're going to go over them one by one, but when it's all put together, it's $23.36. And it would have even been a little less had it not been for the fact that my local Dillon's Kroger store was out of their brand of lasagna. I was trying to do everything with store brands that were on sale. Here's a little tip for you. Because their lasagna was out of stock, I got them to discount the much better brand. Now, this normally was $6.99, and the Dillon's brand, Kroger brand, was normally, I believe, $3.29. So I got them to sell me this for $2.69 because the Kroger brand was on sale for $1.99. That was the concession. So we're only talking about 70 cents, right? But the point is, if they're out of the store brand, don't hesitate to ask them to discount the better brand in exchange. They'll do it. You just have to be bold enough to ask. So let's talk about our ingredients. I'm going to go down the list the way I've got them here. So first and foremost, like I said, I tried to stay with Kroger products because I wanted to save money and show you can do this all with a store brand. Normally I would make my own sauce, but this jar of sauce, this is a 43-ounce jar, was on sale for $3.29. Then we got the pasta for $2.69. Next, found beef. Now this is one of my favorite brands of beef. This is a Butcher's Blend. These make great hamburgers, by the way. This stuff is usually around $9 a pound, but as you can see, $4.91 reduced. Anytime you find this kind of stuff, you should buy it, put it in your freezer. Up next, sausage on sale today. The Marketplace, which is this actually came from Walmart. The reason I got it, quite frankly, was because Kroger didn't have any other than Chubb's, and I didn't want that. So this was $3.49, but again, still a store brand. Next, I've got ricotta cheese. Now this is the Kroger brand whole milk. This was on sale for $2.99. Cottage cheese, also the Kroger brand whole milk, $1.99. And then this bag, the 2-pound bag, was on sale today for $5.99. I'm not even going to use half of this, but I counted it as though I used half, so we're going to call it $3. And then last but not least, miscellaneous spices, which I already have in my cabinet, but just for the sake of counting, we're going to say I'm going to use about $1 worth of spices. Now what I'm going to use salt, pepper, and garlic, Kinder's The Blend, Italian seasoning. Some of you may know I make a lot of this stuff myself because I don't like a lot of the store brands. You can dry your own stuff very easily. Oregano. This is directly from oregano I grow in my garden and dried. Greek seasoning. Now this is not a must-do, guys, but I love good dried Greek seasoning. Again, something I make. Basil, just dried basil. And last but not least, this is something I started making years ago and fell in love with, so I still do it. It's Italian red wine seasoning. You don't need this, but it just brings so much flavor forward. That's all that's going in this. We're going to start by cooking the meat, mixing it into this stuff, boiling the pasta, building it layer by layer, and putting it in the oven. That's all there is to it. Let's do it. This is my kitchen helper today. Say hi, Ted. What you doing, buddy? It's a beautiful day, unseasonably warm. It's about 73 degrees, and the cats are loving it. You can see over in the window over here, Chloe and Panther hanging out, seeing what's going on. So they're not going to be real involved in cooking, but it looks like Ted will be. Generally, when I brown ground beef, I do it in a big saute pan. But when I'm doing 2 pounds of meat like this and I'm going to intermingle them, I like a small Dutch oven. It just makes for less of a mess and easier cleanup. So I'm just going to set my heat at almost full and unwrap both of these and drop them in there. I'm going to add a little salt, pepper, and garlic and a little bit of Greek seasoning, and then just going to brown the meat. Surely you've done that before, right? While the meat is browning, and it's almost done, and you want to cook it completely through, by the way, we're going to make our filling. So this is going to be our cheese mixture. So I've got a tub of cottage cheese. It's a 16-ounce tub. I'm just going to dump the whole thing in here. Now I might leave a spoonful for myself to eat here in a moment. Other than that, the rest going in there. And the full 15-ounce tub of ricotta. We do want all of that. That stuff is so yummy. All right. And then last but not least, we're going to take part of the mozzarella. And you don't need a lot here. Maybe a third of the bag at the very most. And you can kind of look at it and see the consistency. And then all you're going to do is just kind of mix this stuff together. A nice cheese mix. And then once you've got it kind of the consistency you want, we'll add a little Italian seasoning and some basil and oregano to it. Doesn't need much, like maybe a teaspoon of each at the most. The meat is done, and what I'm going to do now is just add a little of my red wine Italian seasoning into that meat, maybe a teaspoon, and also some basil and some oregano. Again, you can do this to taste. For me, it's about a teaspoon of each. And mix that in. That's going to do two things. One, it's going to give it some final flavor. And two, it's going to help absorb some of that grease. Once it's mixed in well, go ahead and turn the heat off. Take it off the heat and let it cool. Before it completely cools, though, we want to drain the grease off of it because we're not going to put all that grease into this pan. I've got the grease draining off the meat through a colander. I've got my cheese filling ready. Now I'm going to shoot a couple shots of olive oil into this pot of water, get it hot and boiling, and we'll prep the pasta. Now, I know they make oven-ready pasta, right? You don't have to boil. If that's what you want to use, knock yourself out. I hate it. I think it tastes terrible, has horrible texture, and it never gets fully filled with flavor. So if you like that stuff, that's fine, but you do it the right way, you'll enjoy it a lot more. Once you've got all the grease off the meat, I'm just running it through a colander, right? We're just going to dump that meat right in to the cheese mixture and just kind of mix it together. Now, I really should have let the meat cool a little longer because now I'm going to get kind of a melted mess, but that's okay. It'll still taste good. It'll still work. If you would rather do this in layers with the meat on the cheese, etc., and I've done it that way plenty of times, it's fine. I'm just trying to show you the fast way that still tastes fantastic. This is what we're going to layer into our levels pasta with sauce. It's going to go in the oven. At this point, I'm going to preheat my oven to 350 and boil my noodles, and then we'll build the lasagna. First thing I like to do is put just a very thin coat of olive oil on my baking dish, especially on the bottom, because the bottom layer is going to be only pasta, and you don't want it to stick or you'll have a giant mess. As you start to build layers, one thing to remember is you don't want this pasta so cooked that it's falling apart. You actually want it just about al dente. The reason is that it's going to cook some more when it goes in the oven with everything on it. So what you want to do is just take your pasta, and I promise you this stuff is hot, and I just lay it against itself like so, building a layer. It's not a terrible idea to let it overlap just a little bit. Generally in a pan like this, you're going to get 3 or 4 pieces depending on how far you overlap. And then you're going to start adding your filling. Now all I do is just lay some on here, and then kind of spread it out. And my hands are clean. If you want to use gloves, do what you want to do. If it makes you more comfortable using a spoon, do that. I'm just telling you, it's easier to do this with your fingers. Cover this entire layer in a thin layer of the filling. And then, once you have done that, we're going to go back and put some sauce on there. All right, in 3, 2, 1. And just kind of spread this out. It doesn't have to be super thick. You're just creating your first layer. And what you're going to is just going to continue this. Make another layer of noodles, another layer of cheese, and another layer of sauce, and keep going until you run out of enough to cover, and then you'll cover it with cheese. I just put my third layer of cheese and meat on there. Now, if you don't want a layer of top noodles, I understand, but I like the last layer of noodles. So go ahead and put those on there. All right, so I've got 12 noodles, right? 4 layers of actual pasta. Then what I'm going to do is take some cheese, mozzarella, cover this a little bit, put a little bit of sauce with it. I want a little sauce left, if possible, just to serve with the lasagna. But if you want to use the whole jar, that's fine too. And still going to taste good, right? All right. So then I'm going to put one more layer of cheese, and I have not even used half of this bag. Now what I like to do is dust this with some Italian seasoning before I put it in the oven. But if you, again, it's, you know, each person's prerogative what they like to do. I just like the way it looks. So we're going to do that. Now this whole thing is going to go in the oven, and I'm going to leave it in there at 350 for at least 30 minutes. I like to go about 45 because I really want this all to cook together. Well, it is almost time to take the lasagna out of the oven, and as you can see, I have a different helper in the kitchen. Hi, Panther. It's such a pretty day I had to open the windows, and this guy loves to lay in the open window. They don't go outside, but they enjoy the fresh air. This kitchen smells amazing right now. I'm ready to turn the oven off and get this out, so let's take a look at it. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That is a thing of beauty. It's absolutely gorgeous. I'm going to zoom in so you can see it. Keep in mind that when you cook lasagna, it's honestly better to let it sit on the counter completely cool, put it in the refrigerator, leave it overnight, and eat it the next day. When this sets up completely, it's just, fabulous. I'm not saying I'm not going to eat any. I'm just saying it's better tomorrow. And there you have the finished product. So that entire process took less than 2 hours. I've got a huge pan of lasagna that I can enjoy for a number of days or share with friends and family, whatever. And it was just over 23 bucks. I mean, this is a fantastic way to feed your family for very little money. I promise you, you'll love it. Give it a shot. You saw how easy it is. If there's something you'd like me to make, all you got to do is comment on this video or send me an email, bill@kansasflamingochef.com. Make sure you check out some of the drink recipes that I'm doing at the moment. I just did 3 different Irish-inspired cocktails. And since Mardi Gras is just next week, I'm going to be doing a bunch of New Orleans and Mardi Gras inspired cocktails here in the next few days. I thought about making red beans and rice today, and then I decided I didn't really want any. So anyway, by all means, eat fabulous, like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Have a great day.